degrees or even beyond that. So this extreme cold temperature inside the body can damage so many internal organs, can disturb so many physiological activities. Some chemical reactions will get disrupted, which will cause some problem. I think someone has raised their hand, and because we are just doing the revision thing, we can take questions even during the session also. You can hand out the mic if someone raises the hand. So these blood vessels inside our body, when the temperature falls out, comes down drastically, the blood vessels, they constrict so that the heat inside the body gets conserved, and sweat glands will not allow the sweat to come out of the body, and the body experiences shivering, some involuntary contraction in the muscles, and these contractions, they generate heat inside the body, and the excess cold will not have a drastic effect on the body. It will somehow manage to maintain that warmth inside the body until you cover yourself with some woolen clothes or increase the room temperature. Naturally, the excess cold will be balanced. Yeah, someone is asking any question.
No, Dr. Sahab, it's continue, please.
Okay.
Let's complete it first.
In the same way, if suddenly the external temperature, body temperature, if it is just if suddenly the body temperature is not the body temperature, the temperature in the outer environment suddenly rises, body temperature rises, then the blood vessels, they dilate and they produce more sweat, and sweat comes out of the body, and when the fluid evaporates from the body's external surface area on the skin, heat is lost from the body to the external environment, and the internal temperature will be maintained at a lower degree compared to the external temperature. Because if the temperature rises to 40 degrees, 45 degrees or 50 degrees, the same temperature can cause irreversible damage to some internal organs. So body tries to maintain this internal temperature by ultimately, whether it is the external cold temperature, cold atmosphere or hot atmosphere, body will try to maintain the temperature of inside it, maybe 1 degree plus or minus, but still it will always maintain it. Understand, but if continuously you're with these extreme temperatures, then ultimately someday this mechanism might get disturbed or damaged, and ultimately some organs might get irreversibly damaged. So this is something we need to always be careful, that though the body is always trying to maintain this balance, it doesn't mean that we have to we can be like anything. We can simply ignore all the changes in the external temperature. There, see certain homeostatic imbalances, such as high blood or low concentration of oxygen in the atmosphere, or low concentration of oxygen inside the blood. It can generate homeostatic reactions such as warmth or thirst. This will motivate, which will help us restore this homeostasis. Electrolyte concentration, oxygen levels, pH, osmolarity, water levels, core body temperature, endocrine and autonomic. Sorry. They actually help in restoring all the imbalances, whether it is blood glucose concentration or electrolyte concentration. All these chemical things which determine the health of a human body might go out of the normal range for a few moments, but body will again bring them back. And in fact, so many enzymes, they work inside our body, but these enzymes, they function in a small range of conditions, like a preferred pH, or some things is suddenly, so the pH becomes very acidic, or suddenly it becomes very alkaline, or the temperature suddenly raises or gets reduced. So these enzymes will not work out of certain range. So if our lifestyle is causing continuous disruption, so that the pH is disturbed, like for example, if you are drinking too much of carbonated drinks, for example, this Coca-Cola or Pepsi, which is more acidic in nature, this will ultimately turn our blood into alkaline. The alkalinity, acidity of this, the pH of this blood will come down drastically, so blood will become acidic. And when it happens, so many enzymes, they will not function properly, so many changes will happen. So we need to understand that there are so many mistakes which we might do continuously, which will disrupt this natural balance inside the body. You have seen these rocks, so delicately balanced, small tap might cause a big damage. So all we have to do is know what not to do to disturb this balance. So this is something which is very important. Homeostasis, as I told you, normally, generally, it is constantly being disrupted. Like as I told you, intense heat or lack of oxygen. If you go to high altitude, suddenly oxygen level falls, or suddenly you are not, you are fasting and you are not eating food, and blood sugar level drops, or there is a lot of psychological stress or physical activity. All these things will disturb this homeostasis. So it is our responsibility to maintain this delicate balance. So if there are any questions on homeostasis, I will take. Otherwise, we will also look into this aspect of being in tune with nature. This is something which is very, very important. So our human body, which is a material unit, it always interacts and responds to different entities in a definite manner. This response towards various stimuli, various reactions, various food items, everything is definite inside the body. Okay, so for example, we all know that we have the solar cycle, lunar cycle. Sun revolves around itself in a 24-hour cycle. It rotates, revolves around the sun. Revolves around itself in 24 hours, and it revolves around the sun in 365 days. So many changes happen during a daytime. Suddenly it is early in the morning, and atmosphere is pleasant. Then it becomes noon, sun is harsh and temperature is quite high, and we feel uncomfortable. Then in the evening it is pleasant, in the night it is more pleasant, and maybe during winter time night it becomes more pleasant. Like that changes, it's seasons change and the temperature changes. And so again, so many things happen inside the body in a 24 hours time. So if you are waking up early, going to bed time in a regular time, fixed time, if you are balancing the planning the entire lifestyle in a right way, and doing everything in a right time in sync with nature. And if you are fasting once in a month or at least once in 15 days, we all know that in 2017, a scientist from Japan, for discovering this fact that month, that too 10 hours waterless fasting, you have to completely restrain yourself from drinking even water for 10 hours continuously. And if you can do this for 2 times in a month, that will help in repairing the cell death, repairing all the or worn out cells and regenerating new cells and killing the cancer cells. This is what he has discovered. And this is something which during the Ekadashi time, in the fasting, and even night also they eat very light food. So this is something which is already there in our tradition, but scientific validation has proved that this fasting, particularly according to the season, like but we have fixed it during the Ekadashi time. There is a lot of scientific reasoning behind why we need to do just before the sun moon is going to become full moon, disappears completely. Two Ekadashis, why? So this whole thing needs a lot of explanation, but we rest assured this is all scientific. So we need to be in sync with nature. What is happening outside in our world has a profound effect on what's happening inside. Yadha pinde tadha macrocosm. So what is happening inside the body is always dependent upon what is happening outside the body. So appropriate food according to the season, appropriate clothing according to the season, appropriate physical activity according to the season. For example, in summer season, if you do a lot of physical activity, you might harm your body. You need to tone down, decrease the kind of amount of exercise. Someone is saying not understanding. Maybe my voice is not clear. I'm talking in English only. So if the kind of, as I told you, if the strength of the body is a bit less during the summer season, and if you do lots and lots of exercise during the summer season, it might damage your health. Exercise is very important. Staying physically fit is very important, but you need to modify the kind of physical activity you do according to the season and according to the temperature outside. And if in the winter season, if you are not at all doing any kind of activity, it might damage your body more. You need to do lots and lots of exercise during the winter season, because winter has a different kind of effect on the body. Summer has do exercise in the winter season, and it is not so good to do lots and lots of exercise in the summer season. So each and everything, food also, the kind of food you eat in the summer season should be very light, easily digestible, and should have a cooling effect on the body. Whereas in the winter season, already the digestive fire is very strong, so you should eat heavy food which can be feel hungry again. So according to the season, you need to decide what kind of food is good for that particular season. So we need to be in sync with nature. The synchrony is very, very important. So have we often, don't we notice that sometimes during the day, whatever we want to do, whatever we have to do, it happens very smooth. And sometimes we want to do some work and it creates a lot of resistance. That, sometimes we feel like we are swimming upstream against the rhythms of this nature. Do we feel like that? Have you experienced sometimes in the day that whatever I'm doing, it is very, very comfortable for me. Whatever I want to do, it is happening very easily without any difficulty. Sometimes even if you are focused, even if we put a lot of energy, things are not happening. Somehow they are not clicking. Do you feel? Have you ever experienced such experience is there for you? Chat window. So why is this happening? The schedule we have planned for ourselves, it is not in sync with the natural cycles of the day, the solar cycle, lunar cycle, and the seasons. So if we are not in sync with this day cycle, if you are not eating food during the time when the sun is bright and when the digestive system is very strong, when the enzymes are getting produced in a nice way, if you are not eating heavy meal in that particular time, and if you are not sleeping during that particular time when the body needs complete rest for repairing and regeneration, that is the time when we need proper rest, particularly between 10 to 2, which is the best time for the body to recoup, regenerate, revitalize itself. And if you are not getting up early in the morning, that is the best time to remove these toxins from the body. A lot of research went into this, why we need to get up early in the morning, because there is a beautiful concept, beautiful principle called circadian rhythm. There is a biological clock inside which will decide what to do, when to do, and how to do. Everything will be happening according to a plan. And there are so many factors which influence this biological clock, which can reset this clock in a right way or in a wrong way. So this is a good concept which we will discuss next in the next class, because we have already completed half an hour. I would like to take questions on being in sync with nature, and about any questions about homeostasis. If you have any questions, I can take the questions. Sivadasanji has raised his hand. Yeah.
Yes, Dasan sir, welcome.
Namaste, Dr. Saab. Namaste.
Namaste, sir.
We get, different, conflicting or confusing messages, either from the culture or from the tradition, or from the modern doctors. Ultimately, we become the victims. Like, one side we are told, tradition say that, you take fast, it is best, it is the best and the most, or the shortest way, or the simplest way to rejuvenate the cells, like, replace the weaker, and, rejuvenation of the cells, and, saving us from all potential dangerous, deadly diseases like cancer and all the things. So fasting is there in all the religions, right?
And also being validated by modern science, and the scientist who has discovered about these good things which are happening during the
Not
fast.
only scientists, we do that.
Yeah.
Not only scientists and doctors, we do that. Otherwise, no, we have no place in the family. Like, but the thing is that other side, we were told, if you keep your stomach empty, acidity form, your membranes in this stomach get damaged. It is something like very, very, very micro membrane in the stomach, and and it is it secretes some sort of enzymes and all the thing timely, and if you don't eat in the right time, and it erodes or
Both are true. There is no conflict in this.
So suppose, say, my body is acclaimed, to secrete, what do you call that? No, secrete, create. Yeah, that the enzymes during 1 o'clock, because 1 o'clock is my lunch.
Yes.
And once in a month, body secreted, and I am not taking the lunch.
Yes.
So that time it is creating problem. Like,
nothing will happen once in a month. As I told you, this homeostasis, whatever the balance is there, that gets activated. It will heal itself. In fact, if you are doing it once in a month or once in 15 days, all the toxins which got accumulated, which got stuck to the intestines, which are creating troubles inside our body, those things will be digested by these enzymes, and all the bad things which got stuck to the walls of the stomach and intestines, they will be cleansed out of the body with the help of fasting. That is only if you do it rarely. But if you are doing regularly, not eating in time regularly, doing fasting, I have seen so many housewives who fast every day or every alternate day. So they are deliberately damaging the body. That is what is not good. But science has validated and has also given Nobel Prize to validate what we are practicing in our tradition. That twice in a month we can do fasting, and the scientist who has proposed this got a Nobel Prize. So there is no conflict. Science also says whatever we are following in our tradition. Only if you continuously abuse the body by not eating in time or continuously skipping meals, that will cause damage. Once in a month or once in 15 days, it will not cause any damage.
Doctor, how many hours you should not eat? You are telling 10 hours, no?
Yeah, 10 hours is the recent research. They say continuously for 10 hours in the daytime.
Daytime. And you should not drink also water.
Yes.
Okay. Complete fasting, 10 hours. Okay. Doctor, what this homeostasis, that page number 2, you wrote so many things, but that is not clear. The second page, homeostasis, not.
This is the second slide.
The second next. In the second page, first page.
So this is the first slide of homeostasis.
Second page. Here. What is these things? I'm not able to understand.
These things can disturb the homeostasis.
Okay.
For example, intense heat or extreme cold or lack of oxygen in the atmosphere, or a lot of psychological stress, or lack of lots and lots of physical activity.
Okay.
These things can disturb the balance inside the body, but body adjusts itself accordingly. But if these disruptions are continuous, every day the same thing is happening. Every day you are getting exposed to intense heat or intense cold, or every day you are climbing up the mountain where there is less oxygen. Every day you are doing lots and lots of physical activity beyond your strength. Every day you are getting exposed to lots and lots of psychological stress. Then these continuous disruptions will have a permanent damage. Body will not be able to get back to balance. So this is something we need to be. Occasional disturbance will be taken care of by the body.
Okay, doctor. Thank you. Now I understood.
Perumal sir.
That's it. Sir.
I was not able to complete. I just wanted to convey my my thought.
Sure,
we also go by more than science. We also go by certain sort of a logic. See, for example, monthly a day we go. I fast. Okay. So this activity, both the potential, the metabolic potential to kill the or remove the cancer causing cells, that is also have a one day time, and at the same time the body's capacity to segregate these enzymes, acidic enzymes to cause this digestion, that also has got one day. Both the activities has got same time. I mean, both are not continuous. Both are, happening on a very discontinuous day. And how could we give, how could we believe that, how could we favor or believe that, I mean, it is more able to kill or remove the dead cells than, secreting the enzymes and
enzyme secretion happens even if we don't eat food, and in the time when it is a designated time, these enzyme secretions happen. The same enzymes will digest all the unnecessary things which got stuck to the lumens and other things. But if you have an experience of having disturbance while you are fasting, maybe there is some problem already inside the digestive system which is creating trouble whenever you skip a meal even if it is once in a month, then you need to be more aware of what is thing like skipping a meal for one particular day or one particular time in 1 month, entire month is also causing a disturbance. Then we need to be more careful about what is happening inside the body. We need to listen more to the signals from the body, and we need to adjust in such a way the digestive system will not be disturbed by one single skipping a meal in an entire month.
Understood.
So normally it will not cause any problem, but if it is causing a problem, then we need to be more aware of what's happening.
Dr. Saab, could you give all of us some thoughts on use of curd in summer and winter? Because people eat, this curd, both, they say both, irrespective of the weather, whether it is some sort of a holistic value to this curd. Could you give some sort of a reflection?
Yeah, curd is something which is very, very useful to preserve the gut flora inside our intestines. We need lots and lots of useful bacteria which will aid in digestion, which will also help us in keeping our immunity strong. There are so many bacteria which always fight with harmful bacteria. Useful bacteria, helpful bacteria, they are like warriors. In fact, the number of bacteria inside our number of microorganisms inside our body, they outnumber the number of cells which are there inside our body. So these useful gut flora bacteria, they need some kind of nourishment. And of course, this curd, the fermented curd, it helps in preserving the gut flora. So curd is good actually, but one thing is, curd is heavy in nature. Like, it is a bit difficult to digest curd, particularly when your digestive system is a bit weak. For example, in the daytime, as I told you, during the time when the sun is bright and the enzymatic action is very good, the digestive fire is very strong. If you eat curd, it can be easily digested by the body. But during the night time, for example, now at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock, when the sun is not there and the enzymatic activity is very low, at that time, if you eat solid curd, it can disrupt the digestive system, it can reduce the digestive fire, and some amount of this food will not be digested properly and it can turn into toxins. So in our tradition also, there is a saying called nanaktam dadibunjita. You should not eat curd during the night time. So that is the tradition, but science also says that curd is heavy and you should not consume it in the night time. If at all you want to consume it, you make it light by doing a lot of churning. Churn the curd so well that it becomes almost like a clear liquid without any solid particles. Like
lassi as we call it. Am I right? Lassi,
chas, buttermilk. So if you can make it like that, it becomes very light. Though the chemical composition is same, but the lightness will increase and it will be able to, body will be able to easily process this buttermilk than curd. Okay, so summer season you can drink buttermilk. Buttermilk is always the best way to drink, and we add different things in this buttermilk. Sometimes during the winter season we add spices, and also in summer season we add some more spices which will reduce the heat. For example, we add dhania, we add some mishri, we add some herbs called chariva, vativer. So these things will reduce the excess heat in the summer season. And during the winter season we add adrak, we add some jeera and other things. So according to the season we can use it, but always it is better to drink buttermilk and use buttermilk. And curd, if your digestive system is very strong, then you can have it in a solid form. Otherwise, it's well churned buttermilk is much better. Lassi like thing.
Thank you. Could you give one more most, I don't know whether it is practical thing. Could you give us a mantra for the students who start sleeping when in the class and all? Is there any drink or something like, food which could help the students, get out of this, sleeping habit? Because sleepiness, come because sleepiness, induce sleepiness, maybe because of some sort of a tiredness, a loss of energy, right? So could you suggest us some drink or some food which could support the students,
Yes.
to get out of the sleeping in the class?
So inside our body, when the digestive activity happens, lot of energy goes into digesting this food. So during that process, body tends to be bit sleepy, and that time sometimes it is uncontrollable. Even if a very interesting thing is happening before your eyes, also you tend to drowse. Okay, this is a natural phenomenon. So that's why what we suggest is, after having food, immediately after having food, just you can relax your body for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or at least 5 minutes. So that relaxation will help the body to recoup. And after that, if you participate in any activity, you very drowsy. That is one thing. Second thing is, we being you people being the faculty, and you know better than me, but you can plan some class which is more interesting, and where there is an activity, students will move this way, that way, or stay in a lab or something like that immediately after having lunch. So such kind of class will keep the students awake, instead of putting them for a lecture which is more theoretical in nature. So because already the students tend to become drowsy, and they might fall asleep. Having drinking hot water during the food, also little sips of water. And while, if you feel sleepy, so you can ask them to bring a water bottle or flask with hot water, ask them to take sips of 2-3 sips of hot water. That will also help in staying awake. And even see, if the entire class is feeling drowsy, allow them to relax for 5 minutes. Immediately after 5 minutes, if you wake them up, they will become active again. This is what we also feel. If you feel drowsy, if you just take a nap for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, after that you will become fresh. So you can plan activities such that. And one important thing is, so that there is a very important guideline. We have some natural urges, whether it is sleep or urinate, or urge to yawn, cough reflex, or there are around 13-14 natural urges which should not be suppressed forcefully. These natural urges, if they are suppressed, they might lead to diseases. Many women, they are afraid of going to masturbate in a public toilet, so they hold their urine sensation, and that causes so many problems. Not defecating in a public toilet, or going outside your home. So all these things, holding these urges, natural urges forcefully, this will cause a problem. Even holding the urge of sleep also can cause a problem. So we need to design classes in such a way that they will not feel drowsy. In our plus 2, our zoology lecturer, he was a brilliant lecturer, but unfortunately his class was always after the lunch. 1 o'clock we used to have his class, and students tend to become drowsy, but we were not sleeping, but we used to yawn like that. So he used to become irritated, because he is so passionately teaching, and before his eyes, if students are yawning, he used to get irritated, and whatever is there in his hand, he used to throw at the students. So students were so afraid that forcefully they used to stop this yawning. So which is again a bad thing. We should not do such things that can lead to health problems. So
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you for your time and patience. Thank you.
Professor Dr. Sundarajan, this is Professor Parashar this side.
Namaste, sir. Namaste.
Namaskar. You've been talking about this fasting recommended twice a month, preferably for 10 hours, not to take even water if possible. Now, in a place like Delhi, which gets so hot during the summer, the temperature touches 40, 43, 44, 45 degrees. Not taking water, will it not amount to loss of water in the body and maybe even
When the body is
cause
getting
heat stroke,
yeah,
causing
when the body is getting dehydrated because of
dehydration,
heat, it is our responsibility to hydrate the body properly. Okay. So during a severe summer, particularly in places like Delhi, it is definitely detrimental if you don't drink water. Okay.
yeah.
But in seasons like this, right now the condition in Delhi is reverse. So even if you don't take water for 24 hours, also nothing will happen. You will
Yeah,
not.
it's absolutely. It's possible during winter, during this time of the year, but during May, June, it is like we.
Maybe for in the entire year, maybe for 2 months, it is very difficult for us to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Rest of the year, it's okay.
Yeah. Because in Delhi, we say during May, June, Delhi either burns or boils.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. You're 100% right, sir. So then you can say take sips of water. That is okay.
Yeah. And secondly, you had, coming to this homeostasis, you made a mention of this physical insults. Can you once again, physical insults? Am I right? Or is it instincts?
Some kind of suddenly some accident happens. You hit something.
Yeah.
Something like that happens. So suddenly, if something hits here,
Yeah.
and there is some what we call microvasculature gets ruptured.
Uh-huh.
There is accumulation of fluid, and sometimes there is a small scratch and some bacteria or something enters inside the body, and body immediately tries to balance it. Suddenly when something hits, there is a swelling there because body is WBC to see and check if there is or if there is some damage which needs repair. If there is any cell death, it will send the scavenger cells. So all these things are a part of this maintaining the balance.
Mm-hmm. But the swelling of the body because of, I think, the retention of a salt or something, will that not be?
Absolutely. See, suddenly if someone hits you very badly, some chair or you fall down or something happens,
Yeah.
that particular region there is swelling.
Yeah.
That swelling is the way of body's mechanism to maintain balance. It sends all the white blood cells and all the cells to inspect and to take action if there is anything needed. And after that, it subsides. Naturally, it subsides.
Okay. There is an auto correction by the body.
It's a beautiful phenomenon. Each and every part of the body, each and every cell. Always try to be in synchrony with other cells, other tissues, other organs. They all work together and it happens in a beautiful way. All we have to do is understand what we have to do to what not to do.
Yeah. In one of the lectures, I think maybe about 2-3 weeks back, that if you have a hissing sound in the air, then there is some Ayurveda medicine that you will put in the air. Once again, give me the name of
Tinnitus.
Yeah. But what do we? Yeah, exactly. So you had prescribed some eardrop.
I'm typing it in the chat.
You had recommended some, I think, some drops, ear drops.
I'm typing it in the chat window. You can see it in the chat window. Bilva Thailam ear drops.
Yeah, Bilva. Yeah. Bilva Thailam ear drops. Exactly. Yeah.
This is very good in treating this tinnitus problem.
Okay.
And I think the faculty Vasanti Vasareddy ji, she is asking about Ushnam Ushnena Sitalam. my grandmother used to say. Yeah, so lines like if there is excess heat inside, heat increasing things much. It's only happens in a rare. The disturbance, we give the same thing, stimulate similar to stimulate the body in such a way that the body restores its balance.
This Bilvatalum, how often should we use or put in the ears? Is it once in a day or twice in a day or something?
Once in a day, every day before bathing. You
Before
have
bath.
to heat the medicine. The bottle in which you get the medicine, you have to put it in a hot water this thing, and inside the bottle, the medicine will become hot, lukewarm. Then
Okay.
don't put directly without heating.
Okay. But is it not advisable to put it during night while sleeping? Before sleeping? No.
You can also put it in before sleep.
Okay.
Only thing is the only concern here is you need to cover the entire ear surface, so you need to put at least some 5 to 10 drops inside the ear.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if excess oil gets accumulated inside the ear, that can be a problem. So after some time, maybe after 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you can take an earbud and remove the excess oil from the ear. Only
Okay.
excess oil,
Okay.
even if it is
Okay.
during the night time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Namaste, Dr. Sundaraji.
Yeah.
So beautiful way of explanation and a lot of information about the lifestyle, to improve our health system. And I want to ask some a question, sir. Just my sometimes speak something. So, what is the reason? In the sleep, sometimes he talk something else, and I I just touch him, and then he normal.
Yeah.
So, what is the reason, sir? Why
excess
this happens, sir?
Strain, body is not completely relaxed, self is not completely relaxed. The whatever chatter or whatever this thing is happening inside our during this dreams or sleep, it automatically comes out. Even often even something happens in the dream and we just in the same way, abruptly some words come out of the mouth. It is related to something some dream he's looking at or something like that. But this is not normal actually. He needs to practice regular pranayama and meditation. And before sleep, if he can put some coconut oil to both his before sleep, and if he can do it, he will get a more relaxed sleep where such utterances will not happen during the night. And someone is asking about, is that okay, sir? There is a
sir. Thank you, sir. And a lot of information regarding the AICTE-SIP, like our and this that is a very nice thing, sir. Because it is also seen our Indian culture also traditions. And that and I experience, sir, most of the people in the AICTE-SIP, they are vegetarians. What is my understanding, that the people are religious in nature and they they pray before the God, and normally they are vegetarian. You are
AICTE fasting.
Not necessarily, but those who are in this way of thinking, they people, because in our Odisha, like we pray the Lord Jagannath. This AICTE-SIP they make fasting,
Yes.
and this happens.
In fact, what I say, what I personally feel, the people who consume non-vegetarian food, they should do fasting because they need more detoxification.
Because in this Hindu, here, they in this Ekadasi, all the fasting is compulsory. Like so what is our I found in my family also.
Yes.
My wife also she is doing Ekadasi. I also do this, but obviously
And
it is a
one important thing
scientific
is this
scientific.
fasting there with Christians. Even Muslims
Yes.
do fasting. So
Yes, sir.
all
Sir,
religions.
this is happening in all the religions, but just I experience in my family. So I do not have made any fasting any times, not
Oh,
even once also. But
great.
this is a nice thing, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Namaste.
So Professor Srinivas Reddy sir is asking about veins is a condition where the veins inside our body they swell. The vein wall, the muscles inside the wall, they become loose, and the vein swells, and the wall becomes very, very thin, and they, become very, very big. And normally, from the heart to all organs, heart is pumping the blood, but the blood, when it returns to the heart, there is nothing to pump back. Okay, so these vessels from the foot region to the heart region reverse, and against the gravity, this blood travels through surface tension. So when the vessels are thin enough to take the blood from the lower portion to the higher portion, easily the blood travel will happen. When the vessels become big, and the lumen becomes big, the upward movement of the blood, it will become very, very less, and accumulation of fluids in the lower parts, particularly in the leg region, it increases. And then there will be formation of small clots in the vessels, and then the fresh blood will not reach that region, and bad blood will stay in that region, and the skin will turn blackish, vessels will swell, and then there will be itching, and sometimes ulceration, some kind of wound happens, then it will not heal, non-healing ulcers. All these things happen in the varicosity. And one important problem is a big vessel when the wall becomes very thin and it gets ruptured, suddenly you will lose a lot of blood. Before you stop the bleeding, suddenly you might lose 500 ml or sometimes 1 liter of blood also. And the same swelling in the veins, if it happens inside your scrotal sac, in the sac in which the testicles are there, if the vein it stays around the testicle, and the temperature in the scrotal sac increases, and the semen production will get reduced. So varicocele will often leads to infertility in men. And the same vessel wall swelling, it happens in the anal region. It is called hemorrhoids or piles. And sometimes the same vessels, similar vessels, can swell in the heart region. So it's a very, very dangerous and life-threatening disease also happens. But the entire thing is happening because these vessel walls also, they need nourishment, proper nourishment. If they are not getting proper nourishment, they tend to become weak, they tend to become loose, and the walls will become like that, increase like this. So one important thing we can do in varicosity is raise our legs during sleep. Elevate your legs. You can elevate your leg side so that the blood circulation happens properly, naturally. It comes down, and there will be no accumulation of blood. You can practice Sarvangasana, Shirshasana, where you reverse your body and you will allow the blood to come down. That is one important thing. And another important thing for varicosity, generally if the varicosity is fully formed, then we do certain simple therapies called Chaluka Vacharana or leech therapy, phlebotomy, where these leeches, they suck all the bad blood which got accumulated in that particular region, and they dissolve all the minute, very, very small clots, and they suck all that blood, and they allow the fresh blood to come, allow the medicines to go there, heal, give proper nourishment, and allow the veins to shrink back to their normal size. This is something we do for varicosity. Of course, before that we do proper cleansing, detoxification, and then we do this leech therapy. Lots and lots of people, they come from different places to our place, to our hospital to get this leech therapy done for varicosity, varicose veins. So, but we need to be more careful to give more and more nutritious food to the body, eat more vegetables, eat more fruits, eat more fresh food, so that body will get proper nourishment and the varicosity can be reversed. Body will heal itself. All you have to do is elevate the legs for maximum time. At least when you are sitting, put your legs on a stool and elevate. While sleeping, elevate. While doing exercise, do some Sirsasana and Sarvangasana. All these things will help in reversing the varicosity. Yeah. I think it is time.
Dr. Sundarajan, can you just once again enumerate the uses of till oil? Till oil.
One interesting fact is, we call oil as tail, or in Sanskrit tailam we say.
Yeah.
So tail, the word itself came from till.
Oh, I see.
Thing which comes out of till is tail. So
Yeah.
when we take oil, by default we consider till oil, because it is
Yeah.
so good in nature. It is having so many useful properties which are helpful for the body, both internally and externally also.
Yes.
We use till oil for cooking. We use till oil for external application. We use till oil to put in both the nose, as a nozzle drops. We put it in the nose. We put it in the ear. We put it in the mouth and do oil pulling. Okay. We put it on the head. We put it on the feet. Everywhere we put till oil, because one important thing is in Ayurveda they say till oil is thulanam karshanam krushanam brahmanam. Sthula, people who are obese, if they consume till oil, they become slim. People who are very weak and lean, if they consume till oil, they gain weight and they become a bit stronger. So sthulanam karshanam krushanam brahmanam. Brahmanam is increasing the weight and nourishing the body. So it is a balancing in nature, and it is not too hot in nature, not too cold in nature. For example, if you take the coconut oil is having a cooling effect on the body. And if you take this mustard oil is having it increases the heat inside the body. So at present, at this time in Delhi, it is good to have mustard oil because it will reduce the excess heat. And in Kerala, most of the time it is hot. That is the reason why they use more coconut oil. But till oil, it can be used anywhere. It will not cause excess heat or excess cold inside the body. It will bring balance.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saab, for this enlightening session for all of us, and I hope all the participants, attendees, and all the participants on YouTube also have very good and informative session, and they will follow what the things we have discussed today, and hope to see more and more good advices from your side in the coming weeks. So thank you.
Very right, Parikshit Bhaiya. It was such a rich session today, and I could hear, so many of our professors, so many people interacting with you, and it helps us all in one way or the other. So all the interactions, all the questions, all the discussions are so informative, and they help us in our holistic health. They help us develop right understanding and more responsibility towards our body. Thank you so much, Dr. Sundaraj. It's always wonderful to interact with you, to be in your sessions. And Fridays are the time when we all wait eagerly for you to appear on screen with the beautiful turban and such a radiant smile. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So time to say.
Parikshit Bhaiya,
Ji.
Sriraj has just raised his hand.